Okay, so I wanted to do a specific word or a sign that I got into the habit of doing, and that was reinforce. So to reinforce is to, like, I want to remind you, or I want to tell you again, or show you the habit, or whatever it is. So and this is how I learned it. And that's why I'm trying to tend to go away from as much initialization, but initialization sometimes is important, especially if it depends on who you're talking to. They're more English signing usage. So reinforce, I do it this way. So here's my do nothing, my left hand, my right hand, I'm right-handed. So I've got my R for reinforce, to reinforce. Now that's not to reinforce a building, right? That would be like to reinforce, like you get your foundation and you build it up, right? So that's a little bit different. But this is a reinforce. It's like I want to see. I've got this for help, or like we do this for aid, support, or help. Because that's the whole point, right? This is help, and this is to aid. And I do this reinforce. And this is how I learned it. This is a sign. This is not just a made-up sign to reinforce. But I've had some deaf people who don't understand, what is this? What are you doing? Because it's not. And so I thought maybe I should change when I hear that word reinforce. I should do support, because that's what I'm doing, right? Reinforce, support. So I want to support that idea, or I want to tell you again. So it's really a good idea to know the word meaning so you can expand and give that definition if it's necessary. So I want to reinforce the rules. The rules I want to tell you again, and emphasize, to emphasize, and even pull it back to emphasize. You could do emphasize, but it just feels more natural to pull it back, right? So to emphasize that idea, or that rule, or that principle. Because remember, this is our, like in stone, written in stone, so we have all of our rules written on there. I even do register, because you have to sign up. They're registering for school. I usually do register. Some people do sign up for school. Either one is fine, because the concept is there, right? So you can register. So our principle, ordinance, commandment. So if you have a rule that I want to emphasize again, I want to reinforce that idea. So the idea, I gave you instruction. Now I want to tell you again and emphasize the importance. Right? So sometimes we get really kind of, I need to do like one sign for one word. We don't think we have time to do that. But if they said, so we're reinforcing the rule. So the rule we're supporting again, or I'm telling you again, I want to emphasize rule, emphasize again. We actually really have time. You don't have to do it in the same, because people are a little bit ahead when they're talking, or your ideas. So if you're just having a conversation with a deaf friend going, oh, that rule that I told you about, I need to tell you again. I need to emphasize it. So instead of saying reinforce, right? Remember, I told you what they wanted, so I need to tell you, it's very important that we make sure we do it, right? So if you're having a conversation, you have plenty of time to give your thoughts out there. But if you hear someone say, or you read something which says to reinforce the idea of blah, 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 to emphasize, I would say emphasize in that respect. So I wanted to just kind of discuss that, because I noticed myself when they're saying reinforce, I get this kind of question look from deaf people. Not all, but many deaf people. What is that sign? What are you doing? They don't see it a lot. So even though it's a correct sign, it's an initialized, can't even spell it, sign, it's a letter sign, that maybe not necessarily see it or use it. Emphasize, more support, tell you again. It's very important. I want to establish again, I want to tell you the importance of that you must do it, or punishment, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's more clear. So I had that idea, and I just wanted to give it out there and throw it out there for you. So I will see you later. Practice. Bye.